Judy's Choco-Wonder Explosion Marshmallow Bites are a brand of chocolate-flavored rice-based cereal. These so-called tasty treats are otherwise known to the personnel of the SCP Foundation under the designation of SCP-2983. As the product's name suggests, this anomalous breakfast cereal not only has suspected ties to Dr. Wondertainment, either a single reality-bending anomalous individual or an anomalous manufacturing business, but also contains dehydrated marshmallows in varying different shapes. Since learning of the existence of SCP-2983, the SCP Foundation has been monitoring the delivery manifests of trucks traveling to supermarkets and grocers across most of Europe for shipments of Choco-Wonder Explosion Marshmallow Bites. Foundation web crawlers are also instructed to monitor online activity for any mentions of SCP-2983 or related keywords to help determine where shipments are being delivered to or delivered from. In addition, as well as closely observing delivery drivers and online chatter, the Foundation has been dispatching undercover agents to visit stores that are suspected of stocking SCP-2983. These agents typically pose as members of corporate or product quality assurance representatives. Upon discovering any retail outlet that is in possession of any boxes of Choco-Wonder Explosion Marshmallow Bites, an undercover Foundation agent will alert a retrieval unit to requisition these boxes, under the falsified premise of a product recall. Agents have noted that many retail staff who witness this process often do not require amnestics afterward. This is not only because they pose no security risk to the Foundation, but also because their work in customer service is torturous enough. Interacting with the general public daily is its own ordeal and shouldn't be compounded by the effects of administered amnestics. Once any instances of SCP-2983 are tracked down and secured, the retrieved boxes are then delivered to Site-55, where they are cataloged and stored alongside other low-risk anomalous items. In the event that boxes of Choco-Wonder Explosion Marshmallow Bites reach their expiration date, or Site-55 storage capacity is filled with an excess of the product, then incineration is permitted. At present, the Foundation has been unable to track the point of origin or manufacturing facility that produces SCP-2983. Retail warehouses receiving shipments of the anomalous cereal provide no clear answers about its origin. Staff are unable to explain how the product arrives at their facilities, how it's stored, or how it's loaded onto delivery trucks. Even more perplexing, some drivers report no recollection of ever loading shipments of Choco-Wonder Explosion Marshmallow Bites onto their vehicles. Yet, by the time they reach the stores, the boxes mysteriously appear on board, ready for delivery. When asked why these shipments are not marked as suspicious, most drivers have responded with the sentiment that they are not being paid enough to ask questions about children's breakfast cereal. The anomalous product itself is contained within boxes that are decorated with the typical imagery associated with the Dr. Wondertainment brand. Beyond the familiar whimsical design, the boxes of SCP-2983 feature the depiction of a humanoid female figure. This character is believed to represent Judy, the namesake of Judy's Choco-Wonder Explosion Marshmallow Bites cereal. Beyond merely being a mascot, the SCP Foundation considers Judy, or Judy the Tongue, to be a person of interest in connection to SCP-2983, referred to as POI-386-1022. On boxes of the product, she is shown having an unusually large tongue, looking upwards with both arms outstretched in a gesture towards an arc of 6 different marshmallow shapes above her. SCP Foundation's symbology experts have extensively analyzed the artwork on SCP-2983 boxes. They believe they have identified a deliberate connection between the shapes of the marshmallows in Choco-Wonder Explosion Marshmallow Bites and various other anomalies linked to Dr. Wondertainment. According to the findings of the Foundation's symbology research teams, 5 of the 6 different marshmallow shapes correspond to different SCPs. The fish-shaped marshmallows are believed to represent SCP-527, an anomalous human with the head of a fish. While it possesses no other anomalous properties, it does have a tattoo that reads as follows: Mr. Fish from Little Misters, registered by Dr. Wondertainment. The Little Misters appear to be a connected group of humanoid anomalies produced by Wondertainment themselves or the company. SCP-2983 also features marshmallows in the shape of a crescent moon, thought to be in connection with SCP-917. This anomaly is an elderly humanoid male suffering from moderate arthritis. Parts of his face can appear or even disappear entirely in accordance with the lunar cycle. Much like the aforementioned Mr. Fish, SCP-917 possesses a similar tattoo, referring to him as Mr. Moon, and again identifying him as a Little Mister created by Dr. Wondertainment. The presence of trumpet-shaped marshmallows in the anomalous cereal's contents initially baffled SCP Foundation symbology experts. That was, until it was later discovered during testing, that these marshmallows contain the highest mineral concentration of any other ingredient in SCP-2983. This connection, along with the marshmallow's frequent ties to the Little Misters series, led Foundation staff to conclude that the trumpets referenced SCP-696, also known as Mr. Brass, a tin robot briefly worshipped by members of the Church of the Broken God. The skull-shaped marshmallows were a little easier to interpret, believed to be linked to SCP-1007, another of Dr. Wondertainment's anomalous humanoids. This Little Mister, referred to as Mr. Life and Mr. Death, possesses unique anomalous abilities of his own. SCP-1007 ages at a rate of a single year per minute, and a key, SCP-1007-1, can be inserted into their back in order to manually manipulate their age. Several of the candy-shaped marshmallows in SCP-2983 stand out not only for their exceptionally high sugar content, making them the sweetest ingredient in the cereal, but also for their shapes, which appear to allude to SCP-2396. This member of the Little Misters, known as Ms. Sweetie, displays her anomalous abilities when consuming sugar. Upon consumption, any men in the nearby vicinity will flee from her. If she makes direct physical contact with an adult human male during this time, her victim will enter a diabetic coma, regardless of any prior history of type 1 or type 2 diabetes or lack thereof. SCP-2396 is also capable of manifesting small candies around her immediate environment, and if a human consumes these, their physiology is completely rewritten, turning them into a piece of hard candy. There does exist a sixth type of marshmallow in SCP-2983, and it's arguably the strangest of all the anomalous ingredients of the cereal. Not in the least part, because these marshmallows have no discernible shape, because they're invisible. This has made it difficult for researchers not only to perform any analysis of its properties or nutritional content, but also for the symbology department to connect it to other SCPs linked to Dr. Wondertainment. The only other clue is that this invisible type of marshmallow is denoted on boxes of Choco-Wonder explosion marshmallow bites by the dotted outline of a circle. With this being the only symbol corresponding to the invisible marshmallows, some researchers immediately leapt to the conclusion that this was linked to an anomaly the Foundation is still yet to encounter. Theories began to circulate about some future, as of yet unseen Dr. Wondertainment creation that was in some way circular or spherical, and that once the Foundation had contained this new yet-to-be-released addition to the Little Misters, that its image would appear on boxes of SCP-2983, and the invisible circular marshmallows would be rendered visible. However, by pure happenstance, a researcher scouring the depths of the SCP Foundation's archives for confirmed Dr. Wondertainment-related anomalies stumbled upon one that they believed could be connected to these invisible marshmallows. SCP-2983 is a headless humanoid currently held in a standard containment chamber. Much like the others, he bears a similar tattooed label reading, Mr. Headless, from Little Misters registered by Dr. Wondertainment. The researcher quickly realized that's why there were invisible marshmallows present within SCP-2983. They were meant to be representations of SCP-2987's missing head. The anomalous properties of SCP-2983 do extend beyond its connections to other existing SCPs, however. For example, much of the nutritional information that is presented on boxes of Judy's Choco-Wonder explosion marshmallow bites list considerably high levels of nutrients that are not typically found within non-anomalous breakfast cereals. Testing has revealed that, as stated on the box, the fish-shaped marshmallows contain high quantities of omega-3, a nutrient that is typically only found in fish meat. Similarly, the box claims the cereal itself is rich in vitamin B, despite this being more commonly found in pork and poultry products. Vitamin D3 has also been found in these skull-shaped marshmallows, as well as a high concentration of calcium. Meanwhile, in contrast to similar non-anomalous products, SCP-2983 possesses a significantly low calorie count, as well as low levels of sugar, fats, and carbohydrates. These levels are so much lower, in fact, that they conflict significantly with the known nutritional value of many of the cereal ingredients that are listed on the box, such as eggs, sugar, chocolate, corn syrup, and cornstarch. The exact mechanism by which the nutritional values of these ingredients have been altered remains unknown. However, Foundation researchers theorize that an anomalous factor in the production process of Choco-Wonder Explosion marshmallow bites may be responsible. Although this may not seem to pose a significant threat to the general public, nor appear to justify the Foundation's efforts to collect seemingly harmless boxes of cereal, the containment of SCP-2983 remains a top priority for several critical reasons. For one, the Foundation is still unaware of potential long-term health effects resulting from prolonged consumption of Judy's Choco-Wonder Explosion marshmallow bites. For another, the exact motives and goals of Dr. Wondertainment, whether they are a company or an individual, still remain unclear to the Foundation. And for a third reason as to why the Foundation wishes to prevent consumer access from this product, it sings. When Judy's Choco-Wonder Explosion marshmallow bites are placed in a bowl containing at least 227 milliliters of milk, the dehydrated marshmallows in SCP-2983 begin to move and emit vocalizations. These anomalies have been observed during testing, singing songs that typically focus on the topic of proper dental hygiene and its importance, the benefits of regular exercise, consuming a balanced diet, and other lifestyle choices generally considered to be healthy. Once their song has concluded, the marshmallows will return to their inert, non-animated state and will cease any further anomalous behavior. Although SCP-2983 is hardly a threat, it presents a danger. If this product was to remain available to the public, and people were to witness this occurring, it would risk exposing the existence of anomalies to the world. If anyone, including a child, observes the marshmallows animating and singing when exposed to milk, the SCP Foundation is authorized to conduct a full search of the witness's domicile and seize the contraband cereal. Amnestics are to be administered to anyone who witnesses SCP-2983's anomalous properties activating, in order to prevent knowledge of anomalous activity becoming commonplace among the public. To observe the effects of consuming SCP-2983, the Foundation requisitioned several test subjects. Using the cover story of a market research survey, children under the age of 12 were invited to taste test bowls of Choco-Wonder Explosion marshmallow bites. These bowls were strategically prepared with less than 227 milliliters of milk. The feedback among those participating in the study was consistent. Children claimed that SCP-2983 was yummy, with some even describing it as the best cereal ever. Another identical test was conducted, but with adult subjects in the place of children. The result when SCP-2983 is consumed by anyone over the age of 12 is also consistent, although completely different from the reactions of the younger test subjects. To anyone older, SCP-2983 reportedly tastes similar to unsweetened oatmeal. Tracking trends and incidents involving SCP-2983, researchers are attempting to triangulate its point of origin, to no avail. Boxes of Choco-Wonder Explosion marshmallow bites have been known to manifest inside supermarkets of varying size and different chains across much of Western Europe. This occurs with no discernible pattern, sometimes appearing already on the shelves, other times in storerooms, and in other instances, delivered alongside other stock in the backs of delivery trucks. However, SCP Foundation web crawlers looking for mentions of SCP-2983 were able to uncover a crucial piece of information. The anomalous cereal can also be purchased online. Dr. Wondertainment maintains an online storefront. However, the website cannot be reached through the use of most conventional web browsers. Most notably, Google Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Opera GX, Safari, Mozilla Firefox, and several other widely used browsers are unable to access the site https://wondertainment.redacted. Specifically, the product page for SCP-2983 can be found at the URL sweets.wondertainment.redacted/choco-wonder. The product page corresponding with Judy's Choco-Wonder Explosion marshmallow bites (TM) has been under Foundation observation since its discovery. Attempts to trace the creators of the site, or any servers where it may be being hosted, have proved futile. However, on the 1st of July 2002, a message was posted to the bottom of the webpage announcing a prize giveaway of an unknown Dr. Wondertainment product. The announcement prompted users to input a code found on boxes of SCP-2983 for a chance to win. This activity naturally caught the SCP Foundation's attention, and sure enough, boxes of the anomalous cereal started appearing with promotional codes. These consisted of 6 characters each. However, the codes were composed of mostly esoteric symbols, and characters that were impossible to type. Identified as being common shibboleth runes, these could only be recreated if they had been observed directly. This prevented the Foundation from deploying bots to input random combinations of letters and numbers. Instead, the only way to access the giveaway was to purchase as many boxes of SCP-2983 to test their codes. The head researcher assigned to the project, May Waters, was tasked with cataloging and inputting codes found on the cereal boxes. Given that the Foundation had no idea what the Wondertainment prize was, or how dangerous it could be, the SCP-2983 research team was allotted a budgetary increase of $20,000. This was then increased to $100,000 after more and more boxes of SCP-2983 began manifesting in stores across Germany and Austria. Researcher Waters then had to make an additional budgetary increase request to $900,000 when manifestations increased and boxes began appearing in France, Belgium, and Italy. Further increases were to be subject to approval by the O5 Council, though boxes of SCP-2983 seemed to be spreading through most of Europe, including the British Isles and even reaching parts of northern Africa. This continued throughout 2002 and into 2003. Then, on the 18th of February the subsequent year, an update message was posted to the SCP-2983 vendor page. It explained that Dr. Wondertainment's headquarters, Wonderworld, a city-sized extra-dimensional theme park accessed from Boston, Massachusetts, had expanded their sweets and consumables department due to increased demand. This was set to lead to not only a massive influx of Judy's Choco-Wonder Explosion Marshmallow Bites, but 3 new lines of anomalous cereal: Judy's Fruity Yummy Tropical Paradise Delights TM, Judy's Peanut Butter Brownie Crisps TM, and Judy's Honey Graham Bee-licious Bites TM. The announcement also promised additional codes for winning special prizes, and if someone found all of these, they would win a Super Ultra Mega Prize. Even more anomalous singing cereal, including these new variations, quickly began appearing out in the world. This posed a potential unmitigated disaster for the Foundation. Not only were these anomalous products being made even easier for civilians to obtain, but the Foundation was still no closer to knowing what the promised prizes were. A meeting of the O5 Council was held wherein they approved allocating an additional $120 million to Researcher Waters and the SCP-2983 team. Obtaining the anomalous prizes was considered an extremely high priority, so much so that SCP-2983 was reclassified as a Keter-class anomaly. It took several months of work, from rounding up boxes to inputting useless codes and cataloging them, but Researcher Waters was eventually able to get a result. She received a strange email from an untraceable, unidentifiable account connected with Dr. Wondertainment, despite never having entered her email address into their online store. But opening it, she found that a prize suddenly materialized in her lap. This occurred 4 times after entering successful codes, and the prizes were as follows: a toy with an anti-mimetic function, which came with a note that read, "A toy you can't fully remember? Now you can experience it like it's the first time every time." It is believed that this anomalous object bears some connection to SCP-909, a young male suffering from permanent anterograde amnesia that renders him unable to remember any information unless written down. He is considered to be another of Wondertainment's Little Misters, also known as Mr. Forgetful. The second prize obtained by Researcher Waters was a box labeled Dr. Wondertainment's Truth or False, holding a seemingly infinite number of trivia cards. Experts on the SCP-2983 research team quickly identified a connection between these cards and SCP-2284, a man whose anomalous properties compel anyone around him to believe any statement he makes. Like earlier examples, SCP-2284 is also part of the Little Misters series, known as Mr. Lie. Acquiring the next prize, Researcher Waters was presented with a plastic potato that increased its temperature on contact with human skin. However, the object seemed unable to cause burns, even if reaching a temperature that would normally leave severe damage. With it was a note that seemed to link this prize not only to another Little Mister, but an entirely different anomalous group of interest too. Researchers were already aware of SCP-644, also known as Mr. Hot, another anomalous humanoid who can determine if a person has biological children and detect children's wishes. The assumption was that this hot potato was a deliberate reference to SCP-644. However, the accompanying note read, "Just when you think this potato's calmed down, this steamy, starchy spud will surprise you by being not cool yet." The end of the note makes a very clear reference to the anomalous art collective Are We Cool Yet? Interestingly, AWCY was responsible for the creation of SCP-2635, an uncooked red potato that can kill half the members of an organization if it remains in their possession for an entire year. Any person possessing SCP-2635 for over a year will also die, hence its nickname of the hot potato. The fourth prize, labeled as Chuck Chatter's Chilling Chops, were a set of wind-up teeth that could eat any toy food placed in its path. This seemed to be a direct reference to yet another little Mr. Hungry, or SCP-913 to the Foundation. SCP-913 possesses an anomalous condition that causes him to enter a trance-like state and eat anything in sight, unless he is fed an average human's daily caloric intake every 2 hours. After collecting all 4 of the special prizes mentioned in the announcement on the SCP-2983 product page, researcher Waters received another email confirming that she would receive the promised Super Ultra Mega Prize within 3 to 5 business days. After receiving this email, researcher Waters allowed herself to be confined to a standard humanoid containment chamber and instructed personnel to treat her as an anomalous humanoid until the prize arrived. The prize itself was a cylindrical container in purple and yellow wrapping paper. There were no mimetic, anti-mimetic, or cognitohazardous properties. In fact, nothing anomalous about the object at all. Opening it, inside, researcher Waters discovered a poster depicting the anomalous musical performance group, the Little Misters, with a message on the back in permanent marker. Before the poster could be neutralized, having determined it to be safe, researcher Waters was granted permission to keep it and hang the object on the wall of her office. To this day, there have been no further instances of prize giveaways connected with SCP-2983. Written on the back of the poster was the following message: May, the space on the back of this poster is not large enough to tell you how much you mean to me. I've never met you, but I feel like we know each other in some cosmic sort of way. I never expected anyone could have ever bought so much cereal, but your brand loyalty has been nothing short of a spectacle. I can only reasonably come to the conclusion that you are a philanthropist who knows of the plight of the candy catalysts, and have been spending vast amounts of money to help us out of the rut we've been in for decades. I'm sorry if a simple poster is too small a gift from me to you, as I would imagine it would feel like, but I assure you that your contributions have been more than just noticed. May Waters, second founder of the Sweets and Consumables Department, look for your name on some upcoming products, and I hope to meet you in person one day. The message was signed by Judy the Tongue, the mascot featured on boxes of SCP-2983. Check out the DrBob Patreon and become a junior researcher today. Now go and watch another entry from the files of DrBob, like SCP-5073, Explosively Hot Chocolate.